Now, there's when it comes to the Maverick Party, there's a lot of, I think, misconceptions about it, or a lot of ideas about what it is and what it isn't, and maybe we can kind of tackle some of those. And by the way, any of the viewers today, if you want to pop your questions into the chat here, I'm happy to ask them of Colin when we get a chance. But at any rate, the main one is that, well, first of all, it was one that a misconception I had, and you corrected me on that Twitter space, was that I thought it was Alberta's federal party, but really it encompasses all of Western Canada. Can you touch on that perhaps to start?
Sure. There's several built into that whole idea of who the Maverick Party is. One of the very first ones that we get a lot is that, are we a provincial party or are we a federal party? We are a federal party. We are looking to have representation in Ottawa, Western Canadian specific representation in Ottawa, which is something I think that most Western Canadians would agree that we don't have currently. We have Conservative members of Parliament who are probably have been in the past the closest we could get to having a fair voice in Ottawa, but they're very muted. And so the Maverick Party was formed with the idea that we need true representation in Ottawa, somebody who will actually speak for us to the issues that we have, to be able to not be coerced into being, quiet on the issues that really matter to Western Canadians. And there's a host of them, and I will probably get into them later. But so the Maverick Party is a Western-based party, meaning Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia, and the two territories. And that is the portion of our country that we are looking to represent, because we haven't been very well represented in the past. So what can I do to fill in more on that for you?
Oh, no, I was just going to add that kind of parallel to that is the misconception, I think, that you are a separatist party. Now, personally, I'm not really against the idea. That's kind of my, if I was to paint a fantasy, it might look something like that. But you wouldn't identify as a separatist party. However, at least on the website there, it does say that, if things got bad enough, that would be something that you would entertain. And so I guess my question is, what are your personal thoughts on that, and how bad does it have to get before that is, something that we'd shoot for?
Okay. I'm going to say something that maybe will shock people as a leader of the party if I actually have a personal opinion. And you'll find that I'm not really a good politician in a lot of ways. I like to be entirely honest with everything that I possibly can, which I guess is pretty much, if you ask me a question, I'm going to do my best to give you my honest opinion. I'm a separatist too, in a lot of ways. I don't know personally how we're going to be able to straighten out this mess that the Canadian West and Alberta is probably the most affected, along with Saskatchewan, by the inequalities that are built into Confederation. Now, where does the Maverick Party fit into all of that? Well, see, as I mentioned earlier, the Maverick Party is a federal party. And as a federal party, we actually have no say whether an individual province, if we use Alberta as an example, we don't have a say over whether or not we separate. That's actually a provincial matter. And that is where we fall. Now, the Maverick Party encourages every Western Canadian province and territory to remain as autonomous from the federal government as possible. We have a very, very powerful central government in Ottawa who is encroaching into the provincial realm of jurisdiction increasingly more every day. We see it even now when you hear about things like pharmacare, for instance. That's something in dental care, right? For universal dental care, and the federal government is offering that to the people of the provinces, say Alberta. And am I against that personally? Well, no. If that's what the people of Alberta want, then yes, they should be able to, their government the provincial government, which is a provincial jurisdiction, by the way, to have anything to do with healthcare is a provincial jurisdiction. So anytime that the federal government intrudes in that, they are exuding influence that they really shouldn't be. And so if Albertans or people from Saskatchewan, British Columbia, Manitoba, whatever, if they decide they want pharmacare or dental care, they should be asking their provincial governments to provide it. And so that is where the Maverick Party falls. We are encouraging every province to establish their own individual autonomy apart from Ottawa. And that can happen in a bunch of different directions, which I'm very happy to see Danielle Smith and Premier Scott Moe doing. You know, they are pushing back against this federal government overreach and trying to keep them at bay, which is what we need.